Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Woo-wee! I am excited for today's episode. Yes, we're diving into the brand new Woodinville new 8-year-old whiskey. Yes, brand new, highly allocated, limited release. So many people, you may or may not know, but if you follow the channel for a while, Woodinville was my first barrel pick. So this distillery holds a special place in my heart. I remember when I was going back, first barrel pick I did, I obviously, of course, had at that point different whiskeys, hundreds of different whiskeys, and I was like, I want to work with a craft distillery that I think is producing amazing whiskey, fantastic quality, and one that I would love to have as my first barrel pick. And voila, here we go. Bourbon Judge's first barrel pick. I still have one bottle left. I'm almost scared to crack it because I remember how much I love this bottle. We call this one the bee's knees, but I've been a fan, obviously, of Woodinville way before I did my barrel pick. Obviously, their small batch bourbon, which is what put me onto their whiskey. I love their small batch bourbon, their rye. They've had other special releases along the way, but when you think about this release, this is really special for the owners of Woodinville. So Brett and Orlin, they honestly kind of created this concept over 10 years ago. So now, again, this is the brand new 8-year-old, but the whole concept was created over 10 years ago. So here's kind of the reason and the logic behind it. So essentially what Woodinville did was, so Brett and Orlin decided to partner with Independent Stave Company, or most people call them ISC. So they wanted to partner with ISC. They wanted to create very unique barrels. So they got wood from them, and they decided actually to place their wood in the barrels, I should say rather, outside for 24 months in a whole open air, kind of a seasoned wood type of element. So truly the wood was outside in all the elements. The cold, the rain, the summer heat, you name it, it was out there for 2 full years before they then brought it inside. And then they obviously, of course, they did a heavy toast and a light char. And I think it's really important when I think about these special highly allocated whiskeys. Let's dive a little bit deeper. Is that cool? All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the whole toasting and the charring process. So let me just kind of explain what the key difference is. So toasting is typically when a distillery will have the wood exposed to the fire for a longer period of time, but about 30 to 45 minutes. But in this case, when it's going through a toast, the fire never touches the wood. It's just exposed to it. So it's around it, but it never has direct contact with wood. It gives a very nice little heavy toast to it. Cool. Then they go through the actual charring. Now, charring only happens for 20 to 60 seconds. That's typically what you see when you go to most distilleries and you might do a tour, I think of even for example, Old Forester. You can see when they actually fire their barrels. It's true direct heat or fire actually on the wood. In this case, it happens for about 20 to 60 seconds. That's where you see the barrel gets all the whole black kind of charcoal look to it. So that's what Woodinville did here for their barrels after they were toasted. Cool? All right. At that point in time, they dumped the whiskey in. The most important thing. So this one, again, is aged 8 years. So it's aged 8 years. Obviously, it came out of the barrel, and they decided to proof it at exactly 100 proof. So exactly 100 proof. And when I look at this bottle, that bottle design is pretty badass. That is pretty badass. So I love the bottle design. It's obviously a slightly same bottle, right? But a slightly different front with a whole all black. That is a very sleek look. I like it, Woodinville. All right, not bad. Not bad at all. And I should say, by the way, thank you to Woodinville for sharing this bottle. This limited release actually comes out next Saturday on August 17th at their distillery. But then there's also online orders with their online partners, I think starting September 1st. I believe there are some websites out there doing some pre-orders already, but officially it technically comes out August 17th at the distillery. All right. I can't wait to get into this nose. Oh boy. Highly allocated, aged 8 years. Woo! Oh my goodness. Oh. Wow. That is so different on so many levels. So when I normally nose Woodinville, and I actually had to pour this last night, the small batch, I always get a slightly earthy, slightly baking spices, but a really good portion of honey. Honey meets kind of a caramel kind of a note. But in this nose, Oh my gosh, completely different. Completely different. Oh man, I mean, you can still, at the core, you can still tell it's a Woodinville product, but probably because they did a heavy toast and a light char, they did something a little bit special for the barrels, and aged 8 years, the highest age statement that they've had thus far. It's definitely impacted their whiskey by far, from a nose standpoint, in a great way. Wow. So first and foremost, I'm getting a ton of like a, almost like a prune, There's some dark fruits in here, like some blackberries, some raspberries, some chocolate, some leather. Damn, this is nice. Some chocolate, some leather, some dark fruits, and a good bit of like oak. And there's almost, yeah, those dark fruits are like just like screaming. They're coming out big time. Wow, that is nice. All right, 100 proof. So you might be wondering, Judge, what is the MSRP on this one? So this one is $130. Yes, whiskey prices are going up. It's $1.30 for this one, but hey, we shall see if it's worth it. We shall see. All right, before I dive into this one real quick, mash bill: 55% corn, 35% rye, and 10% malted barley. Cool. All right, here we go. Cheers. Wow. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Hold on. No way. No way. Oh man. Wow. At 100 proof, it probably sips closer to being like 107, maybe even 110. It's here, but it's steady. It coats the mouth so well. Oh my gosh, I still feel it kind of going down. Everything in the nose matches the palate perfect. And I mean perfect. This is a complete different profile versus their standard product, the small batch. Completely different. All those dark fruits, those dark blackberries, raspberry, that prune note, but the chocolate kind of mixed in with a little bit of the like the leather notes as well, and the oak profile. It's absolutely amazing at 100 proof. Oh my goodness. Wow, let me get one more sip. Hold on. Wow. I poured a little bit in my infinity bottle just so that this can kind of open up a little bit. This bottle is pretty special. I'm pouring a little bit more. I want one more little sip before we give the final judgment, because it is $130. It is $1.30. Oh man, this is really nice. Wow. That's different. That is different. Definitely different. All right. Judge, what is the verdict? This is a buy, a do not buy, or a split decision. The verdict is in. So for me personally, this is actually an amazing bottle. I think it's truly fantastic. I mean, I love the whiskey. I wish the price point was closer to like 110, 115. As soon as you're at that 130, it starts to creep up a little bit. But I will say, from a quality of whiskey standpoint, I would say it's a buy. But I do wish from a price standpoint, it was a little bit lower, like 110, 115. But hey, once this is released, it's highly allocated. So if you want a bottle, if you're a big fan of Woodinville, I would say go ahead and grab it. If you are questioning whether or not you should grab it, definitely try it at a bar. You know, there are certain bourbon bars across the country that have every bottle, and they will definitely have this. For me, and me personally, I love it and I'm buying it all day. This is one where I would absolutely share with some of my friends and let them enjoy this brand new Woodinville. Hey, Woodinville, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Hey, my friends, until the next time, peace, cheers, and most important, salute. Take care. See you guys.